This is how I tackle the most boring, but one of the most important days of the week, the dreaded rest and recovery day. Now I know what you might be thinking, how am I going to get stronger if I take a rest day? I'm just going to lose my fitness, but that's not the case. Rest days are one of the most important days of the week because that's what's going to set you up for success in the next coming days of your training schedule. The point of a rest day isn't to be a couch potato and pig out eating all your favorite foods, or vice versa and starve yourself because you didn't ride. These are days where you repair and prepare your body for another solid week of training ahead. For me, these days usually look one of two ways. An active recovery day where I'm riding the bike for about 45 minutes, spinning at a very low zone 1 heart rate and power to promote healthy blood flow to my muscles and for a little bit of a massage to those areas. Or it's an off bike day where I'm doing things like yoga, lots of foam rolling, using air compression boots and massage guns to help my muscles relieve soreness, but still staying active, but just not on the bike. Remember, these are not days to feel guilty about if you don't ride. It's okay to have a day off from your bike. It's not going to hurt your fitness, especially when you have 5, 6, 7 days ahead of you doing various levels of efforts. That's what's going to get you stronger, and so is the rest day, because that's where your body's really going to be able to repair, heal, and grow into a stronger athlete. My favorite tools to use when I'm off the bike recovering are a foam roller, a massage gun, compression boots, and simple yoga and mobility work. There is no secret magic tool that's going to aid in faster recovery, but I've tried just about everything, and those are definitely my favorites. So let's hop into the purpose of each of these tools in aiding your recovery on a rest and recovery day. I should also mention, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a trained specialist, I am just a guy who has really gotten curious about the world of recovery and tried about every tool there is known to man, and this is just my advice on the subject. Now, the one thing that all of these tools have in common is that they all increase blood flow. That's essentially all we're doing here. We are bringing increased blood flow to certain areas in our body that need the attention, that need that little extra boost to help aid in that recovery. So first up is foam rolling. When it comes to foam rolling, there are essentially two different kinds. There are smooth ones like this, no ridges or bumps, or a rigid, spiky one like this. Now, I have both. I use this one sometimes, but this is my go-to. This is going to run you about $12 at Walmart. It is just a nice light piece of solid foam, and I like these more than the spiky rigid ones with blocks or spikes like that one because it allows you to get an even pressure over a certain muscle area, and it's not painful. With the spikes and the ridges, sometimes when that prong hits your muscle, it makes you tense up, and that's not what we're going for here. This should not be a painful experience. Sometimes you might be sore, but it shouldn't be painful like you're being stabbed, okay? It should be gentle muscle relief and increasing blood flow. That's all we're doing. It's not a magic massage, it's just increasing blood flow. So this is definitely my go-to. I have the other tools, I have the massage gun, I have the compression boots as well, but this is really tried and true, and along with some good solid stretching and yoga poses, that's really all you need. Next up is the massage gun. Now the massage gun, same thing, increasing blood flow and a nice massage to a specific area in your legs. It does a really great job at relieving soreness without putting a bunch of weight on the actual area like you do when you foam roll. It is nice to use when I'm just on the couch, legs up in the air, and I'll just turn it on and pass it over my quads or, reach around to my hamstrings or my calves. That's really nice. I have this gun, and I also have a jigsaw with a attachment that I got many years ago before I got this gun. Okay, this is a whole lot more powerful than this guy. This guy also heats up, which is kind of nice, but this guy is super powerful because it is a saw. Both have their ups and downs. This one's super loud and powerful, so you can get in a really, really deep massage. This one is quieter, it heats up, and it allows you to actually just use it with like one hand so you can reach further, which is something that with this I really wish I could do. With this I always have to be holding the trigger, but this thing is a hog of a tool. Okay, I've had this jigsaw for like 10 years and it still works great. Milwaukee M12 with just a little ball on the end, and this actually does unscrew, so you can put different attachments on it if you want. So if you don't want to spend big bucks, or like moderately big bucks, I think this thing was like 50 bucks on an actual gun, and you have a cordless massage gun sitting in your basement or on your workbench or whatever in your garage, you can actually get the attachment. It just goes right into the quick connect, and it's definitely worth it. So I would definitely think about doing that if you don't want to get an actual gun. The idea is not to induce pain, okay? You should not be doing this on tendons and areas with a lot of nerves. You should be doing this on muscle tissue only. Muscly areas like your butt and your quads and your hamstrings and calves, but not somewhere that's super sensitive to pain, okay? We do not want to inflict pain here. A big pain point in cycling is IT bands, but the one thing about IT bands that I think a lot of people don't actually know is those are just two huge sheaths of tissue. It's not actually a muscle, so there's nothing to loosen up. There's no relief in those IT bands. It's the muscles that connect to the actual tissue of the IT bands. Those muscles include your TFL, which is a sneaky little muscle on your upper outer quad, kind of where your pocket is in your pants, and then your butt, your glutes, and your hamstrings, and your big quad muscles. Those all connect to that IT band. So any of those muscles being tight is why you might actually have IT band issues. But you have to remember that either foam rolling or massage gunning your IT band is not going to do anything. Think of it like a chain. You can't stretch a chain. It's not like a rope where it has give to it. That's what muscles are like. Big sheaths of tissue like the IT band, that is a chain. There's no stretching that. It loosens up by loosening up and relaxing those muscles that actually connect to it. Next up is an elusive tool that not a lot of people have access to, but I bought a cheap pair, and that is the air compression boots. In my personal experience, I do think that they help aid in a speedier recovery after a hard ride. They get rid of that dead, heavy feeling in my legs. They just get things moving down there. You can feel the blood pulsing in your legs when you're wearing them. When I first got them, I thought, all right, we're gonna jack the pressure up to the moon and we're gonna squeeze the life out of my legs to really get that like deep massage going. Again, not what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to have our feet go numb like I was doing. The idea is to keep that blood moving. The idea is not to kill your legs with air pressure, with the squeeze. These are great to use when you're on the couch, watching TV, just passively. That's like what's really nice about it is you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there and you click it on whatever cycle and pressure you want it to be on, and you just sit there, relax, watch TV. The pair I bought was like $170 on Amazon. I don't know how different the other really high-end brands are, like Hyper Ice. I don't know how many different ways there are to really squeeze your legs and increase blood flow. So I wouldn't go out for the $1,000 pair that they make. I would go for the cheap brand like I got. It does the same thing. Yoga is kind of the overlooked, neglected tool in recovery because it's not flashy, it's not a gadget, it's just you sitting there in an uncomfortable pose trying to get your breathing under control. But doing this correctly can be very beneficial to on the bike training and just you in your daily life being able to relax, accessing that parasympathetic nervous system. That is what's going to help you relieve a lot of built up tension in your muscles just that you have on the daily basis. Not necessarily from cycling itself. When you access that parasympathetic nervous system, that's your body saying, okay, we can relax now. We don't have to be on alert. We're not in fight or flight. We are in a state of ease and calm. And on a rest day, that's exactly what we want. We want calm, ease, recovery. Okay, that is the key. I know I've been hammering it for this whole video, but it is so important to remember. Like, these are days not to go to the gym and beat yourself up and set new PRs, okay? These are days to feel better, to feel good. And one other thing with yoga that really just fits the whole theme of this video. It's not supposed to be painful. Yoga can be extremely painful, especially if you are not used to doing these elaborate poses that a video you might click on might feature. The key is to move your body in the way that it wants to. We can't all be yogis that can bend our bodies in pretzel shapes, okay? I'm certainly not. I'm still like learning how to cross my legs when I'm sitting on the ground, crisscross applesauce. So the key is to allow your body to move how it wants. Stretch it to its limit, and more so its capacity, not its ultimate limit where you feel like you're gonna snap in half. And that's when you can bring in the breathing. You can bring in the normal breath in and the extended breath out. When you do that, I want you to notice when you take a normal breath in and you breathe out just a little bit longer than you inhaled. Notice what happens. I definitely feel my shoulders drop. I feel like my back relax. I feel everything just kind of settle. That's what you want when you're doing yoga. You don't want to be sitting there trembling, locking up like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna collapse. I'm gonna break in half like a cartoon. That's not what we want, okay? That's not a rest day. You're taking rest day out of the equation. You're taking active recovery out of the equation because you're not recovering. You're straining your body. We don't want that. We want good healing practices. That's what we want on these rest days. Even an active recovery ride. Don't pay attention to the numbers. Just spin. Find your zen. Find your zen on the bike. Be one with the bike. Allow yourself to just pedal. You don't have to be Lance today. You don't have to be Jonas Vindigo today. You can just be you today. You can just be yourself. Okay? Do that for me. And last up is actually, what are we eating on a day like today? What should the goal be? The goal shouldn't be two things. It should not be these things. It should not be to starve yourself because you didn't ride and you feel like you didn't earn anything. And it should not be to pig out because it's your cheat day off the bike where you can go buck wild and open up the cabinets like tomorrow an asteroid's gonna hit the earth and we're all gonna vaporize. We want to eat like you're aiding recovery. Keep the protein high. Keep the carbs moderate. On days where I'm training, I eat a little bit more. On recovery days, I eat just a little bit less. I eat just a little less, just fueling up and topping off essentially what I need for tomorrow. And Tuesdays, because today is Monday, Tuesdays are usually my VO2 high zone day, so I'm gonna need energy. So the last meal of the day, you better believe I'm gonna have a nice serving of rice. But throughout the day, I just kind of let myself eat good things, but just kind of like whatever I want. I don't think about it too much, like, all right, I'll have some of that, I'll have some of this. Yeah, there's protein in that, there's a good amount of protein in there, and there's carbs in here, like it's a good balance. Take these days to really just relax. Just go throughout your day, think recovery. What can I do to help recover? What can I do to prepare myself for another solid week of training where I'm going to be going hard and I want to feel good? If you undereat today, that's going to catch up to you either the next day or down the line, and you are ravenous after rides because you didn't eat enough a few days ago. Like, this can happen. It will catch up to you if you don't drink enough water, if you don't hydrate. Those are going to catch up to you the next day or days after. Like, these dominoes, when one knocks over, the rest fall. This is a crucial day to get right, and we need to make sure we're not killing ourselves on these days because we need to set ourselves up for success. This is the pregame. This is where we make the right moves so we can finish strong. So I hope you found this information helpful. Remember, these days are not days to hide from your coach or delete that ride from Strava. These are days to be honest and to allow yourself to actually recover, repair, and prepare for the next coming week of a strong riding schedule. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.